What's up, guys? Welcome back to ManCave Collectibles, coming at you today with another figure review. Today we got a little something new for the channel. We've got a 6-scale figure from Hot Toys. This is the Star Wars, the Mandalorian, and the Child Deluxe version. This was loaned to me by my good friend Callahan. He picked this up, reached out, said, hey, would you like to review this for your channel subscribers? I said, absolutely. Let's do a little something new. So we're going to take a look at it today. You can get your Hot Toys over at Big Bad Toy Store. Head over to Big Bad Toy Store for all your toy needs, whether it's Hasbro, Mafex, Hot Toys, and all the other major brands. They've got it along with $4 flat rate shipping. Click the link in the description to see what BBTS can do to fill that need you have in your collection. Click the link in my description to check out what all Big Bad Toy Store has to offer. It also helps the channel out a little bit when you use that link, so I would be greatly appreciative. Let's jump right into our box here. So as always with Hot Toys, they do a phenomenal job on the boxes. So I used to have a pretty large Hot Toys collection. I ended up selling those and kind of moving into more of the 1/12 scale figure line with the Marvel Legends and Super 7, NECA stuff. But Hot Toys always holds a special place in my heart because of the quality, and it starts with the box and it continues all the way through the figure. They do a really phenomenal job. So we can see here on the front we do have an image here of the Mandalorian, of the child who we now know as Grogu, on the front of the box. These are actual product images. Even as good as they look, they are images of the product. And then down below you kind of have a little bit of a wraparound banner that will continue to wrap on around the box here all the way to the back. Got a little bit of legal jargon here on the back. Talks about this is the Television Masterpiece Series TMS015. That's kind of their official, I guess, model number we could call it. And then spinning on around to this side, we have another image here of the Mandalorian and back to the front. Let's go ahead and crack this guy out of this box and see what we got. All right, guys, so we got the Mandalorian and Grogu out of their packaging and onto our view table and looking phenomenal. Let's go ahead and jump right into accessories first. And we have a handful of them, so it's going to take us a moment here, but we're going to get through them. So the first thing we got here is a wired grappling hook here. So this is not bendy wire that I'm aware of, being that this is not my action figure. We're not going to try to bend it. So you can drop comments down below if you know for sure. But it looks really nice. Got a little bit of blue paint up here on the end of that grappling hook. Looks really good. And we'll show how this is applied to the figure later on in the video. He comes with his dagger, which is really nice. We saw him get some use out of this in the show. And as always with Hot Toys, you're going to have pretty much impeccable paint work and sculpting on these. So you can see on the handle there, got just a little bit of kind of worn metal type of look to it. Then we have our blaster pistol. Really nice wood handle on that, painted very well. Got a little bit of silver here on the end of the gun. All types of detail here. And then my favorite accessory, and probably a lot of our favorite accessory, is the blaster rifle. So real nice paint. You can see it kind of fades from kind of a bluish tint into a silver, into a gold there on the end. Has the scope there on it. Very nice. Nice wood grain here on the handle part of this. Has the strap on it, which we can use to strap it onto his back, which we'll take a look at later in the video. But yeah, this thing here just looks phenomenal. So well done. All right, guys, and then continuing on with the weapon accessories. So you've got the whistling birds here, and you can see that this is a fully loaded ejector, I guess we could call it here, with the whistling birds in it. Now, what he comes with actually out of the packaging is one that does not have the whistling birds. We'll take a closer look at him later, but this is just a change out if you want it to appear that it is armed. And then if you want it to appear that it is firing, you also have a change out with a really nice smoke effect here. This is just a kind of a soft plastic, so I don't think you're going to have to worry too much about breakage on it unless you just got super aggressive with it. But has a real nice looking effect. You can see those whistling birds there kind of coming out of that smoke up at the top, but this looks really good. And then you also get a translucent plastic flamethrower effect. So this is pretty neat here. Kind of starts off with kind of that hot blue flame and then into the orange. Looks really nice. You can see how this will just kind of slide over one of his wrist gauntlets. We'll take a look at that. All right, guys, we're still going. As I said, we have a lot of accessories to cover. We have one of his little bombs that he pulls out of his belt, which we can actually see right here. So you can see there's a open spot. So that would be what this one would be for. It looks really good, has a real nice shimmer of a red paint there on the top of it, and it's made just to kind of fit right down in there. It does actually have kind of a soft padding here to keep you from scratching as it kind of goes in and out. So again, just Hot Toys kind of thinking of everything. We also get the tracking fob here that he used to track down Grogu when he was looking for him, or the child, I guess, at that time, but looks really good. Has the antennas there, a little bit of red accent coloring, some silver and gray on it. We also have a little necklace here that Grogu can wear. You remember that from the show. It's kind of got the signet on it. Just a nice little string there. It does appear to be plastic, but you can remove Grogu's head and slide this over his neck. So that looks really nice. We get a hologram here. This is just a translucent plastic. So this looks like maybe one of the bounty pucks there. You guys help me out on this one. This one I can't remember what this is. So if you can think about what this one would be, let me know in the comments down below. I can't seem to wrap my mind around which one this is, and I'm sure when somebody brings it up, I'll be like, oh yeah, how did I miss that? But yeah, let me know what this accessory here is. We also get his jetpack here, which is done in a real nice kind of gunmetal gray color. It has a little bit of kind of wear and tear to it. The way they painted it just really looks phenomenal. It does come with two translucent blast effects that will basically just port right up into the bottom of it, just like that. You know, you have your blast effect. So that would look really cool there on his back, especially if you're doing action figure photography, that type of thing. I'm guessing we'll see as we get into it. Maybe it's magnetic. It's going to hold from a magnetic standpoint. I hope that's how it is, because that's a really clean way to do it if they do it that way. Then we get the Comtono. Now, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. I can't remember from the show what they called this, but for me, it was just something they carried the Beskar in. So as you would expect from Hot Toys, you do get a stack of Beskar with some loose ones here. There's some additional loose ones here that, let's see, we'll set this right here on our turntable for a minute. You can see here how this right here is magnetic, so it will magnetize. Now these can't be broken up. This is kind of a stack that's sculpted together, and then this stack is sculpted together. Has a little bit of a peg hole here, and then you have a single piece of Beskar here, which is not magnetic, weird enough. You would have thought that it would have been magnetic to fit right there, but it does not have any magnetism to it. So the way that works is you basically have your Beskar can fit right down into this, and it will hold it just like that. These do fold up, and you can close it up to look real nice and clean. We'll take a look at all that later. It also has a light up feature, which we will take a look at a little bit later as well. We get some interchangeable shoulder armor with the Mudhorn on it. If you remember in the show, he eventually got his insignia there, which was the Mudhorn on his Beskar armor. So out of the package, he comes with kind of what he originally was wearing as part of his Beskar armor, and then you can swap it out if you want to do so. Now, it is done by Velcro. You can see that Velcro there inside. All right, and then as far as hands, we can see that he has kind of two semi-relaxed hands there straight out of packaging. He has a hand here that would be to use to like hold his knife. It's a little bit more of a firm grip, but you can fit something like the knife down in that one. He's also got two different trigger holding hands, or trigger finger hands. And these are designed just like the ones that he has on, obviously, with the paint here on the back. Gloves are all the same, just a different pose. And then he has two hands that are fist. All right, guys, let's get to the star of the show here. We've got the child. So he comes in his hover pram. I think that's what they call it, or at least that's what the website shows they call it. So it looks really nice, super well detailed. The paintwork is phenomenal. It really just looks like it came right out of the show, but you can see kind of where that paint's chipping all around it. And, you know, Hot Toys just, they're not going to make a mistake when it comes to QC. This little guy here is magnetic, so you can see that he is kind of made, you know, really the only way this particular child figure is really going to work is you can see he just magnetizes right to the front of that. So he holds in really well. You're not going to have to worry about him moving around. He does have a little bit of articulation here in his head, so that is able to move some. Just phenomenally done. The face sculpt, the head sculpt, the paint work, everything is just done to perfection. He He also comes with a blanket here, just a soft kind of felt filling blanket. So this one here that we have in front of of Mando here, he actually can go in and lay down, and you could cover him with the blanket for this. Now, we've also got the cover. If you wanted to actually cover this up altogether, you could do so. We're not going to do that. Well, let's see, maybe we will. Yeah, we'll fit that right over. So that just, you know, slides right on and basically closes and encapsulates it, like we saw happen so often to protect Grogu kind of throughout the show. So that looks really nice. And then, guys, believe it or not, we are to the final piece here, which is the base. So it's a real nice sand base. You can see it has a place there for his feet to go, has the porthole there for the actual stand if you needed it in order to stand him up. He stands really well on his own, but you have that option. It's also got this piece here, so if you just wanted to have him by himself and maybe, you know, Grogu standing in front of him, much like I have here, you could just use this base, but they added in this little accessory here to the base. And what this is for, we'll look at it later, is there's a porthole here. You can open that up, just remove the rock, and it will give you a porthole for the pole that will actually hold Grogu in his little hover chair, and him be able to kind of be posed side by side with Mando there. You can see there's no portholes here for his hover chair anywhere on that base. So they kind of incorporated into this kind of side accessory. Really, really like that. Star Wars kind of engraved into the front of this. The Mandalorian looks really good. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and take a look at our Mandalorian figure up close. So I'll bring this guy in. So as far as the face, you know, it's exactly what you would expect. They did a great job on it. It's got a little bit of weathering to the Beskar armor, which is a really nice touch. That way it's not just shiny all over, so you can see it really good kind of here at the top of the chest armor here, kind of around the rigid areas here of the shoulder armor. On the face mask is kind of, you know, salted or peppered there into it. Just looks really, really good. It is all plastic. There is not die cast on it, and it's not real Beskar, if you were wondering. Got his ammunition here for the blaster rifle. We do have a porthole here for his gun, which we'll go ahead and take a look at. So the way that works, you can see here on the gun we have a leather strap, or fake leather strap. But anyways, that basically just ports right into that little porthole, and it can kind of throw over the shoulder just like that. So it looks really, really good. And if you really want to secure it in there, you do have right here, you've got a little strap that gun can basically just, like, you know, seam down through. And on the back of the cape here, you've got a cutout for that strap to come through. So that way you can kind of secure the gun. That way it's not just hanging. You can have it hanging just over his shoulder, much like that. But, you know, obviously if you want the true look, it's going to be, you know, need to be more this way. And you're able to do that with that little strap there. We're not going to go into that much detail here again, being that this is on loan to me. You know, we don't want to push our luck too much by strapping and pegging and doing too much of that type of stuff. But let's continue on down with the figure. So as we kind of discussed earlier, this is that location where you can take his bomb if you wanted to, or his little almost like grenades, and port it down into that location. So you can see if you wanted to add a third one in, you can do that, and it comes right out. And it does have that kind of felt on the back of it to keep it from scratching that silver there. Got his nice pouches, the belt and everything looks really nicely painted. Coming on around, we do have the holster for his blaster here. And then on around to the back, got the Beskar wrapping all the way around. Got the hip armor there. Coming on down. So this is prior to him completing out his Beskar armor. So we got that kind of original armor that he had there. And coming on down, more of his ammunition there. Couple more pouches there on the boots, and these boots look phenomenal. Yeah, and as you would probably assume, if you're new to Hot Toys, pretty much they're always using soft goods, and that's what the pants, the shirt, everything is a soft good. Let's go ahead and take a look at our Grogu figure up close. So This guy's pretty simple. There's not a lot of articulation. You're not able to articulate the arms at all. The feet, everything is pretty much in place. The head you are able to articulate, much like on the one. So you get two of these. You know, we haven't really discussed that. I'm sure you guys picked that up in the accessory portion. You get two of the Grogus, but they're both pretty much just for articulation on the head. So you can move it around ever so slightly. It's not a whole lot of articulation, but kind of what you're seeing there is about the best I can do. But it's expertly detailed and painted. You can tell those eyes just look so nice. So guys, if you kind of want to see what that flame effect looks like, there it is. You can see it just basically slides up over the gauntlet. It's pretty simple to do. It's non-evasive to the figure. You know, it's very simple to do. You're just going to slide that up just like so, and it's going to just hold in place. All right, guys, and then as far as the grappling hook, now this is one I'm a little bit uneasy on. There's not really a port, but the way the directions show, you basically pull the hand off and you just shove this kind of up into his forearm. So it's a little bit nerve-wracking doing, as this doesn't feel like the most durable piece of material right here. It may be like a really thin piece of metal, but it does feel like it could easily break off if you weren't careful. It does give a nice look. I like the look of it, but again, we just want to be careful, you know, kind of pushing that up into the forearm. And then we do have here, we can, you know, put that blaster pistol down into the holster. Again, being that it's not my figure, I'm not really going to force that in there. It will go a lot more clean than that, but it is made to hold that. And then as well, over on this side, pistol holding hand, and you can see it does just fit perfectly. This, you know, is again just perfectly sculpted by Hot Toys here, but you can see that fits into that hand really, really nicely. Just the way it was intended. The finger goes straight into the trigger guard area. All right, and then I'll show you guys here as far as the whistling bird. So this just pops right off. You just kind of pop it off the back there, and then you can take whatever you're going to replace it with, and it has a porthole that fits right over that porthole, just like that. And now you've got your whistling birds coming out of the wrist gauntlet. So yeah, that looks really, really good. Again, we're not doing a ton of posing here. I just wanted to show you guys kind of how these look on the figure itself. All right, earlier we did talk about the jetpack and kind of how that would fit on the back. So it does have a little bit of a kind of a felt tip or a felt covering here over it to protect this paint. So really all that happens, it is magnetic, kind of as we assumed. It just magnetizes straight to his back, which is such a clean way to do it. Fits on there real nice. It doesn't feel like it's going to fall off. You can shake it around. It's not falling off. I mean, it's not the most firm magnetic connection that I've ever felt, but it's good enough to where if you had this on your shelf or you posed them this way, you're not going to feel like this is going to come off at any point in time. And then for the knife, you do have a nice knife holding hand here. It gives just a nice firm grip on that knife. It's not wiggly. It's not going to come out. It's in there really nice and clean, and it's going to hold it real good for your action figure photography. All right, so we're going to put Mando and Grogu kind of back to the back burner here for a second. We're going to take a look at the diorama piece. So we've got our other Grogu figure. It's got a porthole in the bottom. You do get this little clear peg here. So we're going to pop this rock off, and then he's going to peg right in, just like that. So that's how you set up the diorama piece. It looks really, really nice. And then Mando can obviously stand here beside of Grogu, and off they go on their next mission. Now, another item I want to show you guys is the Beskar Vault. It has a light up feature. So you're going to basically just remove this top portion here. There is a power button there that you flip on. Put that back on. So we'll set our Beskar armor up here. I'm going to turn off some lights. We'll take a look at it. All right, there you go, guys. You can see kind of how that Beskar Vault is lit up. It looks really, really nice. So I'm very happy with that. You can see there is a light right up in the top there, and it kind of lights that up for you. And to take that out, it just basically pegs right onto that little, there's kind of like a large peg in there, and it just pegs down on it. So what a phenomenal addition that they were able to give us on that. Again, these sides here, they do go up. and kind of peg in that way. So if you wanted to have the whole thing, you know, enclosed with him just holding it in one of his holding hands, you can do that as well. All right, guys, and just as a little size comparison, we have some totally unnecessary size comparisons here. We've got a 6-inch Marvel Legend, and we've got a Super 7 TMNT Raphael. Just to kind of show, I know a lot of my subscribers probably are used to seeing more of this scale in my reviews. So just to kind of give you that scale to see. Now we also have a 3A Rick Grimes here, which is in that same scale as our Mandalorian figure is. So you can see they stack up really well together. And I think it goes to show that your 3A and your Hot Toys can certainly intermingle, mix and match. Now we'll put a tape on him here. So you can see he stands right at the 12-inch mark, maybe just a tad below, but pretty much 12 inches, as well as our Rick Grimes may stand just slightly, you know, a millimeter or two above our Mando figure there in the 3A or 3-0, whichever way you want to call them. Now, our little Grogu figure, we're standing right at about 2.5 inches there for Grogu. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, thank you to my friend Callahan for letting me take a look at this for you guys. I know it's something different on the channel. I don't know how many Hot Toys collectors we have in our subscribers list, but put some comments down below and let me know what you guys thought of this. Did you enjoy the review? Did you like seeing something kind of different out there from what we typically review on the channel? Hit that like button. It helps get the video out there for other people to be able to see. If you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing to the channel. Have a ton of good content related to comic books and action figures. And again, drop those comments. Anything you want to talk about, put it in the comments down below. I enjoy that interaction with you guys. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Until next time.